Sebastiano, you need to set up a better remote viewing test if you want anyone who's serious about remote viewing to participate in it. It is very taxing to do remote viewing, and the worst tests are things like flipping a coin, and I think there were something called Xeno cards. Uh, they were cards with different shapes on them, and they just do the test over and over and over. And any of these kinds of tests where you have to do it over and over and over, people always have so-called beginner's luck, where they get incredible results the first few times, but after repeating it thousands of times, it just averages out. And it's simply because maintaining interest, maintaining that level of intensity for that long is extremely difficult. So if you want me or other remote viewers to do a remote viewing challenge, please set up something where it's extremely unlikely that we'll get the results. Something where we'll be truly impressed with even just one remote viewing. I give you also an example of something to keep in mind when setting up this test. Now, here in Canada, we have these coffee shops called Tim Hortons. If you were here in Canada, I would say go to a Tim Hortons and look around it, like just for, I don't know, 20 seconds. Take a gaze around the shop and intentionally memorize everything in that shop that is really unique, and not the things that are static and which are going to show up in every single Tim Hortons. Like, obviously every Tim Hortons is going to have a cash register. It's going to have a bathroom. It's going to have certain things that are in common with all of them. But if you remember really specific details of this scene, like what shirt a customer is wearing, especially if someone happens to be wearing a really unusual, rare shirt with maybe some slogan on it, that would be something to memorize. Anyway, try to memorize everything you see in the coffee shop that is really unusual and rare. And then walk back home or whatever, get out of there and try to recall it, like all the stuff again an hour later. It's quite hard. So if, for example, you were to, I don't know, write down 100 random digits and letters and characters and have me like try to recall all of that, I'm just not very good at that, and I would not be able to do that regardless of whether I use psychic abilities to see it or not. So the ideal test then is something that I can remember and report, but also some things that aren't just easy to guess. So if you can satisfy those two requirements, then you have the perfect remote viewing test. If you really want more people to do a remote viewing challenge, that's what you need to keep in mind in setting it up. And it takes me, when I'm already just naturally in a hypnagogic trance, 1 hour to do this. And it is taxing on my mind. It becomes really hard afterwards for me to, say, read books, study, have conversations with people, because I need rest afterwards. So it is something that interrupts my life. And right now I'm focusing on developing other things. So if I were to do remote viewing for you, it would be a diversion from my current focus. As you may know, I am hoping to learn telekinesis and move that dice there, or another dice. But as someone who's actually done remote viewing and demonstrated it several times on tiny chats, on image boards, to just random people, this is all things that are very relevant that you need to keep in mind.